Listen, when those professional dancers came on in the beginning, they showed you what time it was. I'm sorry, he almost dropped her on her head and she was spinning for ages. Oh my goodness, they were so good. It could only be Blackpool. Hey guys, it's your girl Ayesha, and oh my goodness gracious me, I am here dishing up your Strictly Slice. Who here thought that that was one of the best openings of the season, if not the best opening of the season? Oh my goodness, there was just so much to look at. It was so amazing. First and foremost, big up to Gloria Estefan. Oh my goodness, it was so good to see her out there singing. I didn't even know that she was even still going, so like that was a nice surprise. Were those dancers Brazilian or something? I don't even know where they were from, but oh my gosh, I was blown away. When they came onto the floor, I was just like, psh, that's it, show done, it's over. They shut the place down. I could not believe it. Like, I had to rewind it. If I'm rewinding Strictly from the beginning, you know it's gonna be a damn good show. Whew! I had to just get that excitement out of the way because seriously, like, I was absolutely blown away. And the talent did not stop there. I thought that everybody did incredibly well on this show. Like, for me, there wasn't even like a bad dance. There wasn't like a worse dance. You know, obviously somebody has to be in a dance-off, but I actually thought that they were all pretty good. In fact, some of them were just outright ridiculously amazing. So I'm gonna do my best this episode to just talk about everybody because I feel like everybody deserves to have a mention. First up, Stacey and Kevin. Stacey, big up yourself. The girl slayed it. Not only did she come down on a massive stick of rock, and she looked fantastic doing it as well. She looked like she'd been doing this for ages, but she was giving it her everything. I saw those hips, girl. They were moving, they were not lying. Trust and believe. But also the lifts though. Like, she had to be so trusting that these professionals were gonna just be there when they were supposed to be there. Oh my God, I was blown away. I was absolutely blown away. She was fantastic. Now, I don't know whether the professionals are the ones who choreographed the Blackpool routines or if it's somebody else who's doing it. I'm not entirely sure. Whoever choreographed it, seriously, I was so impressed. That was amazing. One thing that I was really looking for was her timing, and it was absolutely impeccable. Seriously, well done, Stacey. Personally, I felt like she was a little bit undermarked because the judges gave her 7, 8, 9, 9. I gave her a 9. I was sure that was going to be 9s across the board, but you know, they obviously know slightly more technical things than me, but boy, for enjoyment factor alone, like, that was definitely up there for me. That was a fantastic way to open the show. I think I'm going to talk about everybody in order today just because, like, I was just blown away by everybody. So everyone is getting a mention today. So next we've got Lauren and AJ. Now, I personally feel like the judges were being a bit harsh on her. I thought it was a fantastic routine. I thought that she delivered it very well. There was a moment where I felt like her legs could have been a little bit sort of sharper. I think it was when she was being lifted up and she kind of had to look like she was running in the air. I know that there's a proper term for this, but I don't know these things, but you know what I mean. And I just felt like her legs were a little bit on the soft side there. I would have liked to have seen them look a little bit more staccato, darling. I just love saying staccato, darling. I love saying that. But anyway, I would have liked to have seen a bit more of that. Also, I wasn't too sure about that river bit at the beginning. I thought that it kind of wasn't really needed. And that it looked a little bit messy when she was getting out of that. Apart from that, I thought she did a very good job. I mean, personally, I gave her an 8, but judges were giving her 5, 6, 7, 7. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know what Craig was watching. I think a 5 was really harsh. Now, the next one was Graham and Oti. Now, I have to say, I did actually enjoy this one more the second time around. Now, when I first watched it, I was like full of hope and like, oh my gosh, it's going to be amazing because I love theatre and I love jazz and all the rest of it. However, I think I was just waiting for something really big to happen. So when I watched it again for the second time when they were in the dance off, I just sort of appreciated the routine as it was. You know, there wasn't going to be a whole heap of lifts and all the rest of it. It wasn't that kind of routine. He danced that very, very well. So I've got to give him props for that. I think I just wish that they'd opened the umbrellas. I was waiting for something to come out of the umbrellas. I don't know. I think I was putting my own expectations on it, and I didn't want to judge it based on how I thought that the routine should go, because I am not a choreographer, so therefore I have no place in that scenario. But I just thought that he did a really, really good job, and for him to be able to keep up with all those professional dancers as well and to blend in so effortlessly, I was very impressed. I thought it was great. I gave it an 8. The judges gave it 7, 8, 8, 9. Well deserved. Can we talk about Faye and Giovanni though? Oh my goodness. I tell you what, I've said it before and I'll say it again. I didn't used to like the passo at all. It used to absolutely bore me. But the passos have been really, really good this season, and Faye slayed it. Let's just call her Slay Toza, okay? It's not Faye anymore, it's Slay, because that's exactly what she did. Man, I loved it when she screamed. She sort of like stopped for a minute and she went, ah! Like that. Oh, it was just so passionate. It was a much better scream than that. But it was so, so good. And I love that they had fire at the beginning. And that lift where she just like flipped over, like completely, did a complete 360. Oh my God, it was so good. So damn good. Can you tell that I'm excited? Like, this was such an amazing episode. Why can't every single episode be like this? Like, all of the routines were fire. Oh man, it was so good. So good. Kate and Ayesha's American Smooth was very, very cute. One thing I will say though, I don't know why they're doing this, but it seems that every time that them two are dancing, like their song or their storyline is always based around love and romance and getting together. And they keep talking about, oh yeah, we just got married last week and now we're on the honeymoon, blah, blah, blah. Not being funny strictly, but with all the shenanigans that's been going on this season, do you really think that it's wise to keep on pushing people together like that? Come on! Honestly, like it's just getting a little bit much now. I mean, I know that it's all fun and games and that they're all jokey and all the rest of it. And we know that she is a family woman. I'm not suggesting for a moment that anything is going to be going on between those two. However, they just keep shipping people together and... like everybody is just, you know, it's getting a bit intense. That being said, I thought it was a beautiful routine. She looked absolutely stunning, and I particularly loved when she was lifted up and she had her arms out like this and they were spinning her around, and I thought she must have been in her absolute element, you know, to be able to look up and see that amazing ceiling, because I've seen that ceiling before. It's gorgeous. Like on the show, you don't really get to see exactly what the ballroom is like it's epic in there. So that must have been such a lovely thing for her to see. And I think that she probably didn't enjoy being in the dance off, but I think that she would have really enjoyed dancing that routine again. I loved Ayesha's really cheeky faces. Like he's just got like the funniest face for me. I wouldn't be able to concentrate if I was dancing with him. I'd just be laughing at him half the time. Next, can we talk about Charles and Karen? Way. Look pon the hips, look pon the packs, look pon the rhythm. Why? Listen, my friend Linda, she sent me a message and she was like, girl, have you seen Charles's routine? I was like, listen, I don't want to hear no spoilers. I haven't even watched it yet. I'm out tonight. I will watch it tomorrow. Lord, have mercy. Oh my goodness. That was a perfect. Oh my God. It was just so good. Perfect samba. Like, I had to give it a 10. I had to. There was no other number for me. It was so good. It was so clean. It was to decent music, which I was so thankful for. Because of all the nonsense what they've been doing recently, I wouldn't have been surprised if they made him do a samba to flip in, I don't know, Evanescence? Like, so seriously, some of the song choices have been so mishmashed, but this was perfect. And Bruno said that he was indistinguishable from the professional dancers when the three of them were dancing together, like facing the judges, and I totally agree with that. Like, he just blended in perfectly. That was amazing. And bless Karen, she'd never gotten a 10 before. I didn't even know that. So no wonder she burst into tears, poor thing. Ah, it was so damn good. Judges gave that 9, 9, 10, 10. Like, boy, totally well deserved. They were second on the leaderboard, joint second. Man, that was fantastic. Now, I don't usually mention Joe and Diane, okay? And I know that I'm talking about everybody here. However, I want to give them a special mention because Joe did that perfectly. I was so impressed. You guys know I love me some quick step. It's my favorite dance. So when I see it danced wrongly, I get really upset. Or if I see it danced to a piece of music where it shouldn't be danced to, I get really upset. But this was perfect. It was all the Hollywood razzmatazz. There was perfect music. His hair was all slicked back. You know, it kind of made him have a little bit of a peanut head, but you know. Like, he just looked so like gentlemanly. His back was so straight. He kept everything so in line. You know, as Darcy would say, his top line was fantastic. Diane, oh, she looked gorgeous. I really, really enjoyed how she looked. You know, the way that her dress moved as she was dancing, it was absolutely stunning. Now, I will say this though, and again, this is no shade on Joe because he didn't create the routine. However, the whole piano bit, especially because they bigged it up in the VT beforehand, I thought it was going to be bigger. They literally got up onto the piano, did a little two-step, and then they came off. I would have loved to have seen them make more use of that or ditch it altogether because it really wasn't needed. If they were going to use it properly, I personally would have gotten them on there, let all the music stop, lights come down, focus on them, they do a little routine on there, and the lights actually match their feet as they're stamping on it. And then lights come back up, big band joins in, and then you all carry on. That makes it more of a feature. I felt like it was just a little background prop that they kind of thought, oh, let's go and step on this for a bit. It felt a bit like an afterthought for me, personally. But I was just so impressed with just how well that he danced that routine. Like, he traveled across the floor beautifully. There wasn't a beat missed. Absolutely fantastic. And now we come to Ashley and Pasha's jive. It's a 10. It's just a 10. I literally didn't write down any notes. I just wrote 10. Like, how could you ever even fault that? It was insane. The way that they were there dancing on the tables, and when they pulled the tablecloth and she's still dancing. What? Listen, man. Now, as far as I've heard, apparently she's not a favourite to win. I think that's a little bit unfair. She's an insane dancer. And even though, she may have had dance experience, not in ballroom. You know what I mean? So, like, she's still growing like the rest of them. Yeah, it might be easier for her to pick up routines, but she's still growing like the rest of them. But man, you couldn't fault that. You absolutely couldn't. I loved their outfit. I loved the whole setup. I loved the storyline through it. Oh, it was so damn good. Honestly, I was just really impressed with everybody. This has got to be the best episode yet this season, in my opinion. So now we come to the best dressed, and I'm going to give it to... Joe and Diane, because they just looked so adorable. I really, really loved that beautiful blue dress. It was so crystallized on the top, and then all the like feathers moving with it. Oh, it was just beautiful. I loved everything about it, and I loved just how classic that Joe looked as well. You know, he just looked very refined, you know, very reminiscent of Fred Astaire. I was just really, really impressed with the way that they were paired up. So much better than last week's outfit, because what the hell was that? I was not impressed by that at all. But this one, absolutely spot on. I also want to give a big shout out as well to Craig Revel Horwood for his entrance. His entrance was absolutely hilarious. He was literally like, it was like he was dancing for everybody, because Darcy came out and she gave a tiny little wiggle. Shirley came out, gave a tiny little wiggle. Bruno gave it some, but Craig just gave it everything. I loved it. So there you have it, darlings. That is your Strictly Slice for this week. In my opinion, nobody was terrible. I didn't have like a worst dance. I enjoyed them all. They all did a great job, you know, but of course, unfortunately, somebody has to go. So sorry about that, Kate. It was lovely to see you dance. And, you know, it was really nice to watch that dance again, because I thought it was really, really beautiful. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Lindy Hopathon next week. That is going to be very, very interesting. I do think that that, it's a bit harsh to get them to all dance together at the same time, because not only do you have to make sure you're not bumping into anybody, but it's hard for the judges as well to like be able to pick like who's the best, and you got to do it there and then. Like, that's really, really quite hard. But then again, I suppose that tends to be how these dancing competitions are really done, isn't it? So, you know, I couldn't do it, but they know what they're doing. If you enjoyed this video, then please do make sure that you subscribe so that you don't miss the next one. Take care, guys, and I'll see you all soon. Bye.